after Hazbin Hotel Season 2, we know that the exterminations in Hell began at the same time that Lilith disappeared up to heaven, which raises the question of what happened 7 to 8 years ago. Let's talk about it. Lilith was the first human woman, who was banished to Hell alongside Lucifer after giving free will to Eve and therefore Adam. She was the more present monarch in Hell, empowering demonkind with her songs. We know that the denizens of Hell looked up to her, as her posters still remain scattered across the Pride Ring. We also know that even overlords like Vox admired her and her power. Vox mentions in Season 2 that Lilith was gathering an army of sinners with the power of her music, so that they could be liberated against heaven. And then before they could actually wage war with the angels, Lilith disappeared. And then the exterminations were arranged, and it led us to where we are now in the story. There are two reasonable theories here. Either Lilith actually wanted to start a war against heaven and was stopped, or the act of a protest was staged so that she could slip into heaven. Either way, it ended with Lilith making some sort of deal with Adam, as we know from the end of Season 1. If Lilith was genuinely trying to start a war, why not involve her husband? Why not inform him or her daughter about her plans? Charlie believed her mum to be pacifist in nature, and that she wasn't one for violence. And whilst the denizens of Hell are admittedly, more violent than the average being, they seem to respect the Queen, so it's unlikely they would twist this. Possibly Lilith's incitement of the sinners was a response to the exterminations, and how they were decided by Adam. This could have been her response before all of Hell found out. But why start them randomly? There must have been a purpose more than to simply prevent sinners from overpowering heaven. There's the idea that Lilith went to heaven because Adam asked her to, in a bargain to respect Lucifer's requirement that Hellborn will not be harmed. This would protect her daughter, and would definitely be enough of an incentive for the Queen to just up and leave her family. But what would Adam gain from this? It could literally be a way for him to get back at Lilith for denying him during Eden. Did Lilith make a deal not to respond to her daughter and husband's many attempts at contact? Or was she just choosing not to reply? Lute claimed that the deal that had been made was over after Adam died at the end of Season 1, and that Lilith needed to go back down and deal with her daughter. But that didn't happen because Sarah stepped in and told Lute that she didn't have the authority to do so anymore. So whatever reasoning of Lilith being in heaven is clearly strong enough or justified enough that Sarah agreed with it. Personally, I like to believe that Lilith went to heaven in exchange for Hellborns being protected, possibly just because Adam didn't want to agree with Lucifer, and this was the only reason he would. But as the exterminations are no longer happening, that deal is over and she doesn't need to remain there. I think she's possibly just ignoring her family because she feels guilty, as she is the reason so many of their people have been killed. I actually don't really like the character of Lilith, and I'm sure she's going to be a little bit more anti-hero than hero, because you gotta have a good reason for ignoring your family for that long. But I'm gonna give her the benefit of my doubt here, as I can't think of a reason she'd do it other than this. Either way, we're not gonna know much about her story and the extermination's causes until at least Season 3,